The diary I found at my sister's house wasn't just hers. The writings inside revealed our family's 25-year secret, and none of us would ever be the same again. Don't miss the shocking ending of this story. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell right now. Because the truth I was about to learn would turn not just my life, but my entire family's world upside down. Sarah's sudden death from a heart attack shook us all deeply. She was 48, healthy, with no symptoms. One morning she just didn't wake up, that was it. My brother David and I had to handle the funeral arrangements and clear out her house. Sarah had never married, never had children. For years she lived alone in that big house. She always said she was a career woman, adding, "Romantic relationships aren't for me." That's why David and I were her heirs. While clearing out her house, I noticed how organized Sarah was. Everything was in its place. Photos and albums, documents and files, books in alphabetical order. Sarah was always like that, a control freak, a perfectionist. When I opened the bottom drawer of the antique dresser in her bedroom, I saw an old leather diary. Brown, worn, edges frayed. I didn't know Sarah kept a diary. I was curious, thinking maybe there were nice memories about our childhood. When I opened the first page, I froze, because the cover read, Robert Thompson's Diary. Robert Thompson, my father. Dad had died of a heart attack in 1998 when I was 16. It had been 25 years. Why was his diary at Sarah's house? When I started reading the first page, I felt my hands trembling. March 15th, 1995. I can't take it anymore. Elizabeth has no idea. The kids don't know either, of course. But the truth will come out sooner or later. Sarah is right. I need to tell them. But how? How do I tell them? Elizabeth was my mother. She died of cancer in 1999, a year after Dad's death. And Sarah? Who was Sarah? I continued turning pages, my heart rate accelerating. March 22nd, 1995. Talked with Sarah again. She just turned 18. Now she needs to decide. I want to explain everything to her, but she's scared. How will David and Emma react? She says. She's right. How will they really react? David was my older brother. Emma was me. But Sarah, wasn't Sarah our sister? What did this mean? I read deeper, and everything I learned fundamentally shook what I thought I knew. April 5th, 1995. Elizabeth said today that Sarah is very smart, that she's proud she's going to college. I wish she knew. I wish she knew that Sarah isn't actually her daughter. But it's too late to tell now. 18 years have passed. Sarah is our daughter now. The diary in my hands began to tremble. Sarah? Sarah wasn't our sister. She was adopted. And none of us knew, but what followed was even more shocking. April 12th, 1995. Sarah's real mother, Linda, called today. She wants to see Sarah now, to get to know her. They haven't seen each other for 18 years. Linda was only 17 then, couldn't raise a baby alone. Now she's married, has children. She wants to include Sarah in her family. But Sarah is conflicted. We're the only family she's ever known. She grew up as David and Emma's sister. If we tell the truth, everything will change. April 15th, 1995. I've decided. I won't tell anyone. I won't force Sarah if she doesn't want to. I won't tell Elizabeth or the kids. Sarah is our daughter, period. But I'll write everything in this diary because someday someone might need to know. We had been living a lie for 25 years. Sarah really wasn't my sister. She'd been adopted, but none of us were told. I continued turning pages, and I learned even more shocking things. April 20th, 1995. Who Sarah's real father is, that's also a secret. Linda won't say. But I'm keeping the research results. There are DNA tests, court records. If Sarah ever wonders, everything is here. The diary had more details: that Sarah's real mother was Linda Williams, that she lived in Detroit, that she was married and had 3 more children, that she still loved Sarah very much and wanted to hear from her. And Dad's final notes. August 10th, 1998. My health is deteriorating. The doctor says there's a risk of heart attack. If something happens, this diary should be given to Sarah. Let her decide if she wants to learn the truth. I can't make that decision. On the last page of the diary was an envelope. Inside were DNA test results, court records, and Linda Williams's contact information. Everything was there. So Sarah knew this secret until she died, and she never told any of us. That evening, I called David. David, I found something at Sarah's house. I need to talk to you. What did you find, Emma? Dad's diary, and there's something about Sarah we didn't know. David and I met. I told him everything. We read the diary together. He was shocked, too. Wasn't Sarah our sister? He asked. No, I said. She was adopted, but Mom and Dad never told any of us. Did Sarah know? It says in the diary. She learned in 1995 when she was 18, but she never shared it with us. David was silent for a long time. Then he asked, Is Linda Williams still alive? We researched. Linda Williams lives in Detroit. She's 60 years old, married, has 3 children. She still posts baby photos of Sarah on her Facebook page. She writes, "To my lost daughter." I called her. Hello, this is Emma Thompson. I'm Sarah Thompson's sister. Silence on the phone. Sarah? How is Sarah? Is she okay? Please tell me she's okay. The hope in her voice was heartbreaking. She had been wondering about her daughter for 25 years. I'm sorry, Linda. Sarah passed away last month. Heart attack. Linda began to cry. I could hear her sobs over the phone. She'd been waiting to see her daughter for 25 years, but now it was too late. No, it can't be. I was planning to talk to her, to get to know her. I always wondered if it was too late, but now it really is too late. My heart ached. This woman had been suffering for 25 years. I always hoped she was happy, she said through tears. I knew she loved you all, that she had a good family. I always wondered if I made the right choice. Linda, we need to learn the truth. Wasn't Sarah our sister? She took a deep breath. No, honey, she was my daughter. But she was your daughter too. She loved you. She saw you as her family. I was just the woman who gave birth to her. You were the people who raised her, loved her, made her family. Linda told us Sarah's entire story. She got pregnant in 1977. She was only 17 years old. The baby's father was a school friend, not ready to take responsibility. Linda's mother had thrown her out of the house, a single, poor, scared young girl. I stayed at a friend's house during pregnancy, Linda said. That friend knew your parents. They were trying to have children but couldn't, and I knew I couldn't raise a baby alone. The adoption process was different back then. Less formal, more personal arrangements. I met your parents when I was 7 months pregnant. They were such good people. I knew they would take good care of the baby. After the birth, I held Sarah for 2 days in the hospital. I kissed her, told her I would give her a good life, and then gave her to your parents. It was the hardest thing I ever did. Linda's voice broke as she continued. I cried every night for months. I wondered if I made the right choice. But when I saw how happy she was with your family, I knew I did. The agreement was that I would never contact her until she turned 18. Your parents wanted to raise her as their own, without interference. I respected that, even though it killed me inside. How old was Sarah when she learned the truth? When she was 18, I wanted to reach out to her. She had finished high school, was going to college. She was an adult now. I thought she had the right to know. Your father, Robert, was very angry at first. He called me, said I was disrupting their family. She's our daughter now, he said. You gave that right up 18 years ago. He was protective of Sarah. I understood that. When Sarah and I first met, she was very tense. She didn't even want to say hello to me. They are my real family, she said. You're just the woman who gave birth to me. But then we talked. We talked for hours. I told her why I gave her away, how much I loved her, how I thought about her every day. She told me how much she loved you all, what a happy childhood she had. What was her final word? I have two mothers, she said. One gave birth to me, one raised me. I can love both, but my real family is them. From that day on, we would meet a few times a year, she would call. But she never shared it with you. I don't want to upset them, she would say. She used to send me photos from family gatherings, Christmas mornings, birthdays, graduations. She wanted me to see how happy she was, and I was grateful for that. That's why Sarah never married, never had children. She was living a double life of sorts, her life with us and her life with Linda. She was trying to protect both relationships, keeping them separate so neither would be hurt. Did Sarah ever talk about having her own family? I asked. Yes, she wanted children, but she said it felt complicated. She was afraid that having her own family might create conflicts between her two worlds, so she focused on her career instead. This revelation broke my heart. Sarah had sacrificed her own chance at motherhood to protect our feelings and Linda's. Did Sarah leave anything for you? Linda asked. I opened the last page of the diary, in Sarah's handwriting. Emma and David, if you found this diary, you now know everything. Linda is my real mother, but you are my real family. Tell her I forgave her. Tell her I wasn't angry with her, and tell yourselves that I loved you very much. I never regretted it. Some secrets are heavy, but this secret was to protect us. Sarah. I read the note to Linda. She was crying too. For 25 years, Sarah had carried this heavy secret alone. Instead of reuniting with her real mother, she had chosen to stay with us. But she hadn't rejected Linda either. She'd loved her too. David and I made our decision. We met with Linda, went to Sarah's grave together. Linda left flowers, stood at the grave for a long time. I was always proud of her, she said. I knew how much she loved you, what a good woman she was. I made the right choice. You were a good family to her. You were a good mother too, Linda, I said. The one who gave birth to her, gave her life, and then stepped aside for her happiness. That's a huge sacrifice. Now Linda is part of our family too. We meet a few times a year, visit Sarah's grave, talk about her. The 25-year secret was finally revealed. Sarah wasn't our blood sister, but she was our heart sister. She had chosen us, and we had chosen her. We had also chosen Linda. The diary I found at my sister's house taught us that blood ties aren't always the strongest bonds. Sometimes the family you choose is more valuable than the family you're born into, and sometimes a secret is kept not to cause pain, but to protect. What do you think? How would you feel if you learned such a secret? Is family built by blood or by love? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more family stories like this. See you in the next video.